Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Okay. Okay. Grow up, Stephanie. Jesus. Excuse me. I really don't appreciate, like, so rude. Oh my god. Okay. So, all right. How you guys doing? Hey y'all. I'm back on here again to just kind of do like a update on what's been happening in the last couple weeks, and then also to do kind of like a part 2 to that other video that I did where I kind of like coming out kind of like, hey, I'm living under a rock for a while, so it's kind of like my update video. So this is gonna be kind of part 2. I had a couple friends kind of ask me some questions about like, why did I even, hey Fat, I know I just started doing, thank you, son. Okay. Just turn it down. Go get some headphones. I can't remember where the headphones with the cord is, but you can use my headphones. I think mine's are in my room. So anyway, so yeah, this is kind of me because I don't know what the heck I'm doing on social media. I'd rather have face-to-face communication than texting. I can't look my thumbs. I can't move my thumb. I can't move my thumbs fast enough. And I don't like calling as much because it's just I can see your eye movements, I can see your body language, and so that's the number one way I like to communicate. However, that's not the world we live in. Everybody's on social media, but because that has not really been the person that I have been, I felt or anything, haven't done any research. I don't know what's been rolling out over the years in terms, like, I guess Instagram didn't always have reels. They rolled out reels years ago. I never got on those trains, so I'm really having to learn all of this all over again. That's why the content is terrible. It's poor quality. So over time, as I create more content, because the goal is to be kind of a little bit more vulnerable and just kind of share some things that I went through, because if I can do that, then maybe somebody will get set free. My plan is to be extremely vulnerable and extremely open and honest about my whole story. I literally am an open book, bruh. It's really not too much that you could think to ask me that I'm not going to like answer. You know what I'm saying? Like the really uncomfortable stuff. I'm all for it. I love having uncomfortable, real, in-depth conversations, because I think that the more honest that you can be with yourself and the more honest that you can be with other people, like, it's just so empowering. You change your life when you can get honest with yourself about who you really are and what you've really been through, and how those things have impacted your life and what they've done for you, or the lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? So platform and long videos on this platform is not it. So I'm sorry, y'all. But I haven't quite gotten my YouTube channel together yet. So this week I'm going to be working on getting my YouTube channel together. I also want to get a TikTok and do some TikTok. I'm probably going to do different things on different platforms. So like on here, it'll probably be more like cutesy stuff or just real short things, or funny, probably more funny stuff on here too. Goofy, because I'm weird. I'm goofy. I'm crazy, y'all. I'm growing. I'm learning. You ain't never gonna meet nobody like me. I promise. Okay, I promise. Real deal, baby. So probably gonna do like funny stuff on there. I'm probably gonna do these longer like lives. These long videos will be like on YouTube. So, and I was gonna do this on YouTube and refer you guys over there, but the way my life be set up, it just don't be happening. Things don't happen the way I want them to happen, and it's so annoying. But here we are. And then like I'll probably do some kid videos, like with do some videos with my kids, like on TikTok, dances and stuff. That's what my daughter been wanting to do. So we might do some dances on there. So I'll probably do funny stuff on here, long videos, more personal stuff maybe on YouTube, and TikTok stuff on there. I'm like, all right, bruh, I'm finna monetize you. You're gonna be up in this house, you're gonna pay some bills. You know what I'm saying? So I think I might start making cat videos too. So we'll see. Okay, so also I'm kind of eating. Look what I made too yesterday, y'all. I made some, I don't know if y'all can kind of like really, ooh, this kind of low-key look like slop. It don't look that good, but it is white bean chili chicken, cream chicken, white bean chili. And it is bro, it is so good. It's so good. So I'm eating. I'm gonna be on here eating too, fam. I don't know, every time I get on here, I be hungry. I'm going to eat a whole bunch of food on here. But anyway, I mean, like later. Yeah. I mean, we can try. I'm not good at all these dances these kids be doing because the dances don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when I grew up, it was a soldier boy up in there. Oh, I think drinking. I mean, it was all this. You know, now they're like, and I'm like, fam, move your body. So I don't know how to do all these new dances, but we'll learn. But what was I saying about the chili?
About looking at the soup that I made and stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's yummy. Oh, kids are distracting. So I'm pretty sure that I have like ADD or ADHD or something. We're gonna learn about that. But
me too.
I keep if I have a thought and it just goes like I really have to get back on track. So my son is very distracting. He distracts me a lot. So you're gonna see a lot of that on these videos. What was I saying about the chili? It's really good. It's a chicken white bean chili. Fire. Bro, how I made it was I cooked the chicken. What I put in it? Salt, pepper, garlic, Montreal chicken seasoning, onion powder. Also garlic powder, not garlic salt. Oregano, cumin, and chili. Put the onions in there, and then I put the garlic in there, and then I put hatch chilies, like 2 little cans of hatch chilies. And I put some, I watched the video that said put some lemon juice on it or something, so I put some lemon juice. Hey girl, how you doing? So I put some lemon juice on there. And to be honest, I think the lemon juice kind of keeps the onions from like being too soft because you know, the onions and the chilies and the garlic. Then I put the chicken back in there. I also did like chili packets too. I got my chili packets from Hy-Vee, but I put 2 chili packets in there and chicken broth, and then I put a whole thing of cream cheese in the chicken broth, and then I put a little bit, probably like a 4th cup of heavy whipping cream. And just let that simmer for a while. Did I put something else? I feel like I put something else. Oh, and I put like a little bit of breadcrumbs in there to make it thick. Oh, and I shredded up some Gruyere cheese and put that, fire. I'm telling you, good dish. It's fire. Try it. White bean chili. And I'm eating it with tortilla chips because it goes really good with that. I'll probably get up at some point and reheat up my food too, so. Yeah, that's the little dinner I made last night. Oh yeah, last couple of weeks since I posted that last video. Not too much has happened really, honestly. Just been kind of just trying to get caught up. Can't remember. Yeah, I think I mentioned in the last video too that I'm not working right now. So I'm like trying to do content and learn more about content, and then I'm also trying to like live my personal life and make sure that these lights don't keep getting cut off, fam, and that, you know what I'm saying, my home life is alright. So I'm very proud of myself though. I will say this, I'm very proud of myself that I nailed this last like week and a half, because I have depression. Okay, let's talk about all the mental illnesses Stephanie has on board that I know of. We're not talking about your mental illnesses, son. Because you don't got none. You're 10 years old. You don't pay no bills.
But
Because you don't pay no bills. You don't got no woman. You ain't got no kids. You don't drive. You don't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got no mental illness, son. He might, though. You don't know that because you've never been diagnosed. Hush. Anyway, we do think that something is going on. But, like, at first I started thinking that Aaron might be on the spectrum. But I don't think... Everybody keeps telling me he's not. So, it might be something else. But we don't know. He's never been diagnosed. So, this is what he thinks. I've been diagnosed with some stuff. Okay, so... The mental illnesses, all the ones that I know of, are the ones that, okay, so here's all the ones that I know that I've been diagnosed with, and then also some of the ones that I think I got. I've been diagnosed with, actually, when I was younger, like 16, I was actually diagnosed with bipolar. Then they came out with a new book, the DSM-5 or something like that, and so now... Under that book, or guys, I don't have bipolar anymore. It's just like a real bad form of depression, is what they said. So, history of bipolar, depression. Don't be over there laughing, fam. That's mental illness is not funny. Mental health is not funny. See, distracting as fuck. I'm about to go send him in the other room. Bipolar, depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm about to beat him up. I'm about to beat him up. Somebody come get the little boy. Get him. Post-traumatic PTSD, bipolar, depression. Okay, now here's the ones I think I struggle with. I think I struggle with borderline personality disorder, OCD, and ADD or ADHD. I don't think I'm not in this stuff. Gone in the next room, because you're being distracting, and you're making me unfocused. You're not making me. I'm choosing to allow, but I would like if you would stop distracting me in that way. Because he know what he doing. He trying to do it for attention. Like, if that's the case, just come sit on the camera over here with me. Quit being distracting. Fucking kids, bro. Anyways. I love my kids. Why do I have to quantify that? If they get on my nerves, they get on my nerves. It has nothing to do with love. Anyway. So yeah, those things kind of make it real difficult for me to do things and get things done. So... Very, very proud of myself that in the last week or so that I've accomplished all the things that I've accomplished, because, honey, it's not easy. It's not. Okay? My week, nothing too eventful, other than, okay, so this is going to sound really bad. So we had a cat. Had a cat, and the cat was getting on my nerves. I tried to get rid of him. The cat came back. So, that kind of happened this week, and I'm pissed about that. Because I don't want to take care of no animal. I can barely take care of us, what I need an animal to take care of for. Feel me? So, okay. What made me go to California, specifically that state. So, there's a few reasons why I left Ohio. First reason why I left Ohio is because I really did not like Ohio. Like, I did not like Columbus, Ohio. Didn't like it. Don't like the people there. People there are just... They're them. The other part of it was that I had got an offer by my mama, who had moved out there about a year before I moved out there. She kept trying to convince me to move out there because she's like, I'm far away from my kids. not my fault, because you moved your black ass out to California. I didn't. So I'm like, yeah, when you move somewhere far, you're probably not going to have a lot of family near you. But I miss it. I moved down here. I miss it. I don't got nobody. I'm like, but she was like, move on, come out. She was trying to convince me, feel like that was the best idea to go out there and move out there with someone who I don't really get along with. Because if that don't go well, then I'm going to be effed. And me and my kids are going to be effed, right? That was wisdom, but I didn't use my wisdom. I just choose to, I'm not going to say blindly or openly trust her, but we came up with a plan. Okay, the plan was going to be for me to go out to California. She was going to help me finish school. So and had pretty much knocked out all of my gen eds. I probably had like two or three classes left to take of gen eds, and then it would have been nursing classes. So that was the goal, and I was going to school nonstop, like all the semesters. I didn't take a break because my goal was to be a nurse and get it done and get it over with, and not take 50 years to complete a degree. I wanted to go ahead and get it. But then COVID hit, and I paused, and I just kind of took a step back because I was like, I don't really know if I want to do nursing in this capacity, because now COVID is changing everything. And I'm not sure if I have to gown on and gown off like every time, I go work with a patient. Like, that's going to take away care for me. And school, I'll watch them or whatever. I was like, okay. Not initially, but over time, like a couple months, I was like, all right, well, maybe that's a good idea. Also, I love California. When I was younger, we used to live in California. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, but when I was around 7, we moved to California. My mother got a job offer out there, and we lived out there. Love California. I consider California my second home. Chicago's always going to be my first home because that's where I'm from. That's, where I was born. That's originally where I'm from, and I love Chicago. Chicago is popping. You know what I mean? But Cali's my second home. It's warm, it's beautiful, it's fun. There's so much things to do there. People are so awesome there, bro. Like, everyone's always smiling. People are always upbeat. There's so many things to do, bruh. If you like cold weather stuff, there's stuff to do. If you like warm weather stuff, there's stuff to do. If you like the desert, there's stuff to do. Beaches, aquariums, museum. There's just so much to do in California. I love Cali. Still love Cali. So I'm like, okay, well, let's pivot and like move there or whatever, because she's kind of like, I'm like, I love Cali. My mom's out there. Also, my kid's father is from California. He's from Compton, and he lives in LA currently right now with his girlfriend. So I was like, okay. And I was kind of talking to him too at the time too. So I was kind of like, bro, like, I might move out there. He's like, yeah, that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you with the kids too. You know what I'm saying? You can drop them off to me, or I can come. He didn't say drop them off because he knew I didn't have a car at the time, or I had a car, but it was getting worked. We'll get to that. Anyway, so he was like, I'll come get the kids. Because he lived in LA, and where my mom lived was about, Jesus, no, that wasn't, oh my God, I have to kind of get back into that. Okay. So anyways, basically he was like, he was going to help me, and he would come get the kids from me. That's what he said. Okay. Fast forward. Oh, no. We need to back up. Because there's about one more reason why I left and went to Cali. So there was my mom saying she was going to help me finish school. It was my kid's dad saying that he would help me with the kids and keep them, we could co-parent and blah, blah, blah. And then the other thing was, I was in a really bad, not really bad, but it was abusive relationship with this white guy who I really loved. I felt like there's only about 2 people, maybe 3 people who I've ever felt in love with. Okay. One of those people was my baby dad. And one dude was a guy from high school. And then another dude was this last guy that I dated. So I really felt like I was in love with him. I thought I was gonna get married. I swear I heard the Holy Spirit tell me this was my dude. Like I was with it. And I don't think he was an overall bad guy. But what I didn't know when I first started dating him and didn't know until a while into it is it kind of low-key made me uncomfortable. And then not too long before I moved, because he was actually going to move to California with us. Like that was, we were kind of talking about the possibility of him moving to Cali with us. So about a month or so, maybe like 3 weeks or so before I moved to Cali, me and him fell out. Like we had a whole argument. It was kind of around the whole Super Bowl thing. He said he was going to come watch Super Bowl with us, and he ended up blowing me off and going to do something with somebody else. So then when he came back home, I just didn't want to talk. I didn't want to talk about it or nothing. He was trying to kind of force me to talk, and I didn't want to talk, bro. So he kept. Now, I'm one of those chicks, fam, that like you not finna knock me around. Like if you in a relationship with me and you a man, you is not finna put your hands on me, and I'm not finna fight back. Never that. Why? Because I watched my father do that shit to my mother, and I remember thinking at a young age, I'm never gonna let a man put his hands on me, and I'm not gonna swing back. So, and I've told all of the dudes that I've been with up front, like, fam, if you with me, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I told this motherfucker that too. I don't know what in his head he was thinking, but he kept trying to push the issue that day. And I was like, bruh, let it go. And so then I got up in his face like, look, I said I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I told him like that. That must have pissed him off. He started trying to put his hands on me. So eventually he put me in a chokehold. You know what I'm saying? I'm passing out. I'm like, oh shit. I'm passing out. Like, damn. Kids in the next room, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. So the thought was like, kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, kill him, because you're passing out. Like, things were starting to go black, and I was starting to see stars, and I was trying to wiggle for more oxygen, so that feeling could go away and I could kind of think a little bit more. Like I'm trying to gain seconds, right? And so he got his hand around me and I'm trying to wiggle to get more oxygen because I'm starting to black out. And then the first thought was like, kill him. And I was like, no, I can't kill him because my kids is in the next room. Like, how that's going to look if I kill him? They're going to be looking at me like, I didn't want them to be afraid of me. I didn't want that to go wrong. Like I tried to kill him and it backfired and he killed me and both of my kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want him to try to kill my kid. So I'm trying to think through all of these things in a moment. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to kill him. But then something was like, dig your nails. So then I did this because I was like underneath him. So I dug my fingers like into his chin and he let go. And then from then on, like I didn't talk to him. I didn't speak to him. I didn't nothing. I was afraid of him because I didn't know what he was capable of. Again, he was on this drug that was making him really, and so he would be okay one minute and then next minute not, and you just never know what really triggered him. And he was very like emotionally dominating and stuff. And I was trying to go through that relationship as humbly and honest and mature as I could. Also, I did have friends that were like, definitely my best friend was like, probably not the best, but when you be in your own mind and your own head, you don't really want to listen. You feel like you in love and stuff like that. When people are on the outside looking in, they can see things that you can't see. Honey, I couldn't see it. I didn't want to see it. I don't know what it was, but I ignored it. But that being that bad was another catalyst for me to go to Cali because I was kind of afraid of him. He had the code to my garage at that point. I never was really honest with myself until recently that was one of the reasons why I moved to California, but it definitely was. I was kind of afraid of him. Even though I'd be like, ain't no bitch in my blood, you know what I'm saying? And you can get these hands. Like, I can't fight everybody and I can't win against everybody. You know what I'm saying? And, eventually he ended up like leaving my house after me, like not saying, he would just keep coming home and he would just keep trying to talk to me. And I just gave him the silent treatment for like 3 weeks. It took him 3 weeks to get that, like, I don't want him in my house. And I did, by the way, I did try to call the police. choice. He had to stay in my house after this motherfucker just choked me. They were either like, you could press charges or not. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, when you in a relationship and you don't be trying to do all that, you know, you be like, oh, I don't want to press charges and trying to save the other person's ass. Fam, if you're being abused or somebody's hurting you or they hitting you, call the police, get their ass locked up, because if they don't do it, if they doing it to you, they gonna do it to somebody else. You feel me? Or probably already have, for real, because they not that bold to just try it with you that first time, fam. Unless you just nuts chick and you done pissed this man off and he making you mad. Like, girl, call, get out the house, get away, run. Don't be in a relationship with somebody who's abusive in any form. Financially, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Go. Run. Don't do it. Because it's so damaging to you in the long run, and it's damaging to your kids if you have kids. So anyway, tangent, but that was like one of the 3 reasons that I left. Also, another reason why I left, and this is something I haven't really been honest about too, is I really felt like I was a burden to the people that were in my life at that time, because I was heavily drinking alcohol and smoking weed and smoking cigarettes at that time, like heavily drinking, fam. Like, all bad. And so I felt like all of that was taking a toll on, like, my closest friends. You know what I'm saying? Now, they will never say this because they're sweethearts and they're love bugs. But I know I was getting on my damn friends' nerves. You know what I'm saying? I know I was wearing them down with the life situations that I kept choosing to put myself in. That they would be like, friend, but I'm putting myself in this. So part of it was like the alcoholism, the man, the struggling on my own here, trying to go back to school. Those were all the reasons that took me to Cali. That's pretty much why I left Columbus to go to Cali. But when I got to Cali, because one of the other questions is what kept me going during the hard times. So when I got to Cali, nigga, shit switched almost immediately, fam. So within about a week to 2 weeks, my mom's whole attitude changed. First of all, where she actually stayed was in this place called King City, which is a very, very rural, very, very Hispanic town, like almost all Spanish speaking. Okay. Logistics that I didn't know before I moved to California. Never smart to move without knowing all the things about what you gonna do, what you gonna be, where you gonna be, who gonna be around, what church you gonna go to, how you gonna sneeze, how you gonna fart, how you gonna lay in your bed, you gonna lay this way. Like, you need to know all the things before you move to a different location, fam, and have yourself set up, because if not, it might not go great. So I get out to California and the whole atmosphere changed. My mom must have been in her feelings again or something. I don't really know. But after being there for a week, fam, and we weren't arguing. I could see if we was arguing. I could see if we was getting into it. We weren't arguing. We weren't getting into it. We were kind of getting along. So after a week's time, it kind of like, it was a gut punch, because she was like, oh, I don't think you guys are going to be able to stay here. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, because if you guys stay here, like, my landlord only knows that I'm staying here. I didn't tell him I was moving anybody in. The lights and all the electricity and all the utilities are going to go up, so they're going to know. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, so you guys aren't going to really be able to stay here. And I'm like, bruh, I just packed up my whole house. Like, I had Section 8 voucher when I left Columbus, Ohio. I tried to get that voucher ported to Cali and I couldn't. So I left my voucher out in Columbus, Ohio, that took me years to get. You feel me? I was in a brand new, nobody had ever stayed in with a voucher townhome. I was in a brand new townhome. You don't get, bro. When you on Section 8 and you got low income housing, you gonna be in low income housing, and whatever the F that means and whatever the F that looks like. Probably bugs, roaches, and not a good neighborhood, not a good nothing. Now, the neighborhood I stayed in wasn't that great, but it was a brand new townhome, and it was mine, and I had always wanted a townhome, so I was in my dream place at the time. You get what I'm saying? I had a car, but then we was working on getting it fixed, and she was supposed to help me get it fixed and like pay for it. But then she hit me with, "Oh, I can't pay for it," and I'm like, "But you already knew what the cost was. What the cost was. We talked about it. Like it was like the stuff that we had planned on doing that she said she would do. She started backing out on, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, damn, like, what did I do to kind of like, so I'm trying to evaluate, and I'm like, no, bro, this is just her. This is her and her sick shit, fam. So, we come out there, she like, oh, y'all can't do. So also what I did mention, and it's layers and layers and layers, guys. That's why these videos be so long, because it's so much. Like, if I really went into all the details, y'all would understand me a little bit more. You would understand why I do what I do and why I say what I say and act the way I act. But it is so much. Excuse me, it would be overwhelming to really try to share. I don't have no problem, but it's so much. So also in that time when she left from Columbus and went to California, which I believe she really went out there for this man. She had been in a relationship, and I'm putting all her shit on blast. And I'm sorry, Mom. I love you if you ever see this, but your truth is my truth. My truth is yours. So shouldn't have did what you did. Love you. But anyways, she went out there. I'm not going to say she went out there for a man. She went out there to go out there. But not too long after going out there, she got married. You know what I'm saying? And she had got married to this man that she used to be in a relationship with like 15 years ago. Oh, blah, 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 blah. So I guess eventually she decided that she really wanted to do that. And I know that that's part of the reason why she went out there to Cali. It's because he lived out there. And she missed California. And I think she also was trying to rekindle that relationship. So she went out there and they ended up getting married. So I didn't know who this guy was, but barely. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know who he was all like that. And you know what I'm saying? When I did know him, I was like 12 years old. So like, obviously time has passed. I'm 30 at the time? 29 or 30 at the time. So like, time has passed. I don't really know the guy. Now he did, before she moved to Cali, he came out to visit us and we all went to Niagara Falls for a little bit. And so I kind of got to, talk and chill with him and kind of pick his brains. But basically, like, you guys can't stay here no more. And I'm like, okay. So then, but she doesn't really, like, say it, but she's saying it. Like, she said, like, you guys, I really can't have you guys staying here. Like, that's what she said. But she wasn't trying to say it, like, get out now. Or kick us out. It's just like, you guys can't stay here. You guys can't stay here. You guys can't stay here. So she's saying it enough to where now I'm feeling guilty. And we go visit her husband because she's travel nursing and she lives in King City. Deep fam, like, stick around and get finding all of this shit. Like, as I'm there, just things are being unfolded. Like, I didn't know that I think I might have knew before I went out there that, like, before she went out there, he was a hoarder and da-da-da-da-da. Like, it did. So she had this pretty much kind of rocky relationship with him when I moved out there. But I didn't really, like, know that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not married to you. You're to King City with her. Right? In Tulare, Visalia. We used to stay there when we were in California before. We used to stay in Tulare, Visalia. But again, it's been years. And I haven't talked to this man in years. Save for when we went on the vacation. So now I'm just here with this man. This old man. Because he's 20 years older than my mom, by the way. You feel what I'm saying? So we living with this man now. I don't got no fucking car. Tulare, Visalia is very, very... It's not a lot for me. Ain't no taxis, ain't really no Ubers, wasn't no lifts. No, there was him. She got all pissed off and upset, which is what she does. And then I was stuck with him for like 2 months, Meanwhile, this man is telling me all kinds of intimate personal information about their marriage and what's going on and how they're getting along. So now I'm trapped because he's trying to figure out what's going on with my mom. And I'm like, well, she's a bitch. You know what I mean? I love her, but she's, you know, she acts like a bitch a lot. Like she does a lot of mean things to people and she don't take a lot of accountability. And this, I'm probably going to regret me saying this right now. And Holy Spirit, I'm so sorry, and I do ask for your correction and your discipline because I know that that's my mother, and I know that you gave, and I'm supposed to honor her, and I know I'm supposed to respect her. But part of a little bit of a chip on my shoulder because of that shit. So that's something that, in terms of forgiveness, so I didn't even see my. So I'm just out, like just son. Don't have no way to get around, and then he thankfully. I always filled it up. I always brought it back. Never dented it. Never crashed it. Never nothing. Tried to get insurance on it. But I think because he was going through what he was going through with her, it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, gotta figure out how to get around this. So we left and we went and to go stay in a shelter for months. So there because I had got like a check from whenever I was working in car, I noticed that things started getting a little bit better. I had met a woman and we started to, she let me roommate with her. Me and my kids roommate with her. Now she had 4 dogs in her house, taking care of his dog. So every once in a while, like he at a point because I was trying to get sober and stuff like that. And for like the first year, I stayed sober. But after that, I was after living with her, I was trying to go back to school, and I started school. Wasn't going to stop. I knew I kind of, so I left, and then we was homeless from that point on, just in my car. Like in my car, living out of hotel rooms, all things, and it just was getting progressively worse. So I was like, okay. That was the point where, and so like how I handled that was I drank through a lot of that stuff. I drank through like sleeping in my car, realizing that I gave up like a place and my car because she was going to help me fix my car and she didn't. So I didn't end up going to Cali with a car like I thought. So it was just like, I had lost so much at that point. Then also keep in mind, like, I'm also a work in progress. So like, I also got issues and mental health and all these things to be married and all these things. Like, I'm trying to work through all of that stuff in my head. Felt really, really stupid that I had came out there and trusted my mother. Although I felt like, I'm like, you should be able to trust your parents, you know. But what I've learned over time is that the best people in your life is not always your blood that loves you the most. You know what I'm saying? So what I've really done, but I don't feel like my mom loves me. Maybe, I don't know. I guess that's really between her and God. That's not even my business, whether she loved me or not. What matters is whether I love her and how I treat her. But that is something that I'm just still working on. Let me go eat it. Because I never would have been homeless had I not broken the agreement that me and my sponsor made. I slipped up and had a couple shots and she was like, nope. I was like, okay, cool. I know I gotta go. So, and, you know, then we was kind of like out, you know, assed out. We were assed out for a minute. And, how also did I handle that? I did not always handle like my pain and the stuff that I've been through with alcohol though. I am a believer. I do believe in God. I am, like I said before, I am not a perfect Christian at all by any means, but I have always tried to trust God, and I have not done, but I have tried to honor God with the things that I do, with what I say, with how I move. I just don't do it perfectly all the time. And I have tried to be a fasting woman. Fast, pray, worship, and not have tried. I am that person. Like, I fast, I pray, I worship, I speak in tongues. Like, I do these things. It's not like I have tried. So sometimes I think that as Christians, we can kind of have these ideas in our head. And so, if you give of your time, if you serve others, if you do the, and I do believe that if you do those things, you should see some fruit in your life. And I have done those things and have saw fruit in my life. But also, I'm, again, not a human. As I talked about at the beginning of this live, I have multiple mental illnesses on board. So I'm fighting with that. I'm fighting with childhood trauma from my mom, fighting with childhood trauma from my father. I'm fighting with multiple rapes and molestations on board, like over 5 to 10. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do the tears. Don't nobody got time. And I really have worked on a lot of it. It really triggers something if you've worked on this and you've healed. So as you can see, even in these times where I have fasted and I've prayed and I worshiped and I gave God everything, bruh, it still would be hard. It still would be hard, bruh. And I still want to smoke a blunt. That just, until it don't start creeping up. And I'm working on trying to figure out how to control my mind and how to control my thoughts. You feel me? And like, what I'm telling myself every day about myself, and what I'm telling, where I was gonna drown myself. What? Like, so from that age, whatever demon that suicide is, or whatever that demon been on me, fam. Like, and I prayed it off. I went to the altar. Like, I've done all like what I want. You know what I'm saying? So still trying and will still try as long as I'm breathing to keep fighting, to keep praying, to keep giving God, to keep loving others, and not just like loving and like serving and helping, but like really, really doing it. Like really being authentic with the way that I listen to people, with the way that I serve people, with the way that I treat people, because I feel like how you treat others is so important. You don't know. And this is hard. Like, I don't do it perfectly all the time, bro. I fuck up all the time. But how you treat others is so important. And we don't treat people with enough love. And people are hurting. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are hurting out here. And they're struggling. You know? That's not just once. That's time after time after time. I'm not going to throw my mom under the bus and kick us out on New Year's Eve because somebody left the refrigerator door open on accident, fam. Like, I can only try to improve who I am as a person before there's just things that people do that just, it's not in your control. And you can't blame yourself for it. I've tried to blame myself for everything. Because I'm like, at least if I can blame me and I can take responsibility, then it's all my fault why everything happened. But sometimes I try to grow from that. You know what I'm saying? And you just know that's what you have to do. It's like, I don't know how to explain that, if that made any sense. But that was what my motivation was to keep going. This isn't really hate my mother. You know what I'm saying? There were things that I could have did to be on Stephanie's crap. You know what I'm saying? But there's still parts that people play in it. So what did I learn? I learned that people are fallible. I am fallible. I'm faulty. Other people are faulty, but that's okay. It's not okay, but it's God still loves them. And God still loves me. I learned how to not give up.
I learned how to fight a little bit longer on those nights when I had to pee so bad and I had to go pee behind a bush and I had nothing to wipe my ass with, so I had to use like an old shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we didn't have that, like when I fought through it and I didn't think I could make it through that next 24 hours and I did, that was what kept me going a little bit more, because it was like I already did it, like I already made it through. In the moment when I felt suicidal and I was like, bro, I'm finna just take myself out, like I'm done, I'm tired of being here, and I didn't, that was what helped me get through. Like, it was the resiliency of not failing when I wanted to fail and giving up when I wanted to give up and still pushing through despite and even though. That was what I learned. I learned how to keep fighting. And I'm still learning how to keep fighting. I'm learning what fighting really looks like. What does it look like to fight with people that don't deserve love, but the Father feels like they deserve love. And you gotta give it, whether you feel like they deserve it or not, you still have to do it. I learned that because I learned that I am that person. I am my mother. Fam. I really didn't believe it, nigga. I know it now. Baby, oh, she's an alcoholic. Oh, she struggles. She struggles with it. She struggles with it. What else have I learned about myself? I've learned that I'm a good fucking mom. I'm a good mom. Because I've still fed my kids. It may not have been, the best meal in the world. May have been noodles a few times, but they didn't go hungry. Like hungry. We didn't starve. I fed my kids. What I learned is like, I am a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fighter. I'm a survivor, fam. I'm a winner. Like, and I'm smart, and I'm intelligent, and I'm resourceful. I'm resilient. I learned that I have poverty mentality. There are things about me in terms of what I allow into my life in terms of relationships that are not okay anymore. Like there are types of people that don't get to be in my life anymore. Okay? And also vice versa. Like I don't get show up when it's important to show up. Don't show up and be like, oh, hey, like don't show up on somebody's birthday, but you wasn't there 2 weeks ago when they were crying and they felt like they wanted to die. You know what I'm saying? Like learning how to be consistent with who I am, and then also with who I let in my life, and making sure to keep people who are, if we're not trying to grow in the same ways, then I don't want it. I don't want the relationship. If you can't communicate, you can't learn how to communicate, you don't want to be honest with yourself. Fuck being honest with, you got to be honest with other people, but you got to be honest with yourself first. Like if you can't be honest with yourself and say, Stephanie, you have an issue with alcohol, you are a good mom, but you struggle some days. You need to clean your damn house today. You need to put on some makeup and do your hair. You need to do, like, if you can't have these conversations with yourself and uplift yourself and encourage yourself or correct yourself, you're not going to be able to do it with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, honesty is key. That's another thing I learned. Like, being gut level honest with myself is going to be key for me to get any type of growth in this world, in this life. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's kind of like, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I feel like I've been talking for a minute. I don't know. I always be saying I'm going to keep these shorts, but it's not going to be short, fam. But like I said, I'm still going to be I'm going to be revamping and figuring out how to do all of this. I realize, like I said, that this is not the platform for the long videos. Thank you guys for being patient. I know I'm posting weird, crazy content. I'm just having ideas, and I'm just trying to take them from in here and put them and make them tangible. So it's gonna look a lot of weird right now. It might look a little crazy. Hopefully some of the things that I say is inspiring. I hope I don't go off my energy. I want to have a balance of a lot of different things. I want you guys to see all different facets of me, because I think I'm cool as shit, fam. I think I'm fun. I think I'm funny. I think I'm beautiful. I think I'm insightful. I think I'm resourceful. I think I'm loving. I feel like I'm understanding. I'm learning how to be patient. And I want you guys to see me in all of these different ways. And I want to be goofy and be joking and all that kind of stuff with you guys too. So I'm gonna kind of wrap it up. But that was kind of everything. If you guys want to know anything else too, just let me know. I will definitely tell you guys. Sorry about all the crying. Like I said, I am very, very sensitive too. But also I'm aware of the fact that I'm hypersensitive. So tears are okay and it's beautiful. And I don't beat myself up for crying necessarily. I just know that I cry a lot. And so sometimes that can be kind of like, are you trying to pull on people's emotions and get sympathy, you know, and I don't want to do that. I want to still be able to talk to you guys from an emotional place, but you guys feel me. Because some people don't cry all the time and that's not their vibe and they don't want to watch all that. So, yeah, anyways, I'm going to let that all be that. I kind of hope I covered everything. Still a lot, like I said, still a lot that details. What else y'all want me to put up and post about? Like I said, I'm going to start doing the long stuff over on YouTube. Your shorter stuff is going to be on here. It's probably going to be the more weird, goofy stuff on here. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, that's totally okay. If you're one of my closest friends and you don't like or support what I do, because I do be cussing. I haven't got on here smoking or drinking yet. But it's funny because I tried to do a live about a week. I tried to do this specific live like a week ago and try to have this discussion while I was cooking. And I was drinking and smoking too. And my phone went dead. And I was like, probably because God don't want you doing it. So I'm also trying to play it by ear too, because I don't want to offend people. And you know what I'm saying? If I say something good, but I'm on here smoking and you want to share it to someone who also doesn't do that. Like I just want it to be, but also I want to be me. I want to be me because I'm me and I'm him who I am. And there's like 5 million people out there just like me. I know there is, because there's 7 billion people in the world. So there's got to be a whole bunch of people out there like me and people that will fight. And that's all I need is just 1 or 2 people that feel me. And I've said something that helped you heal or helped you grow. So that's the point. In the meantime, I'm going to be posting some more weird, crazy stuff. I think I'll probably leave you guys alone today because I did a long live where I cut my son's hair dressed like a man. And real quick, the reason why I did that was because I really went to cut. So my son been asking me to cut his hair for a minute, which is terrible. But I mean, I'm not a barber. I went to school to do hair and stuff like that, but I'm not a barber. And, you know, he asked me to cut his hair, but I was kind of hoping his dad would send some money so I can, you know, but his dad ain't sending money so he can cut it. So I'm like, damn, I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I get in my feelings because I don't have a man and because I don't have nobody to go take my son to get his hair cut. Also, I like to be able to take him to go get his hair cut so that he can have that opportunity to be around men, because he's always around me and his sister all the time and doesn't get to be around a lot of men. So opportunities where I can put him in sports or things where he can be around other men, I really try to do that. You know what I'm saying? And his whole demeanor is different when he's around men. So I just had the thought, like, I'm gonna dress like a man and just see, like, just joking around. And I really put on a hat and drew a beard on my face, and he really